Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the stream. I'm Martin Wenzel, and we are in Microsoft Flight Simulator once again. We are at Barcelona for World Tour Flight 132, flying from Barcelona El Prat Airport in Catalonia, Spain, to Tirana International Airport, or Mother Teresa. Not sure if it's Mother Teresa Tirana International Airport. I don't know how that is. That's how they have it written out. It's in Rinaz in Durrës County, Albania, but it is the international airport for the capital, Tirana of Albania. This flight's based on Wizz Air 3866, flown using an Airbus A320. We'll be using the FlyByWire A32NX mod for the Airbus A320 in Microsoft Flight Simulator, with the Wizz Air Budapest Olympics 2024 livery created by Lemon Juice. Alpha India Group's traffic, that's all the beautiful other planes moving around right now at Barcelona. And Bajan Habashi's 4-season pack, those are going to be the trees, seasonal trees. And right now we're still in a late winter, early spring tree set. Links for all that stuff is in the description below on YouTube. Alright, so let's get inside the plane. Welcome in, hope you had a good day. And hopefully everything's working on my end. I think I got all the video settings the way we want them. Just had a plane take off there. Looks cool. We're in. There we go. Frame rate's a little shaky. I do have motion blur on. Maybe I should turn it down. That's okay. Put the fly pad on first. Start the fueling process because I think we're going to need it. A little bit of fuel today. Some brief. Go over here to the OFP. Fuel 7362. 7362. We need to get that all on board. It's going to take 10 minutes. Not a big deal. We'll go over here. Realism. We're going to reel for the boarding time. But we'll change it if we need to. We're going to do our safety check. Have the tooltips on. I was flying the Boeing 247 last night. We don't want to. I'm going to turn off the motion blur also. Just kind of kills frame rate a little bit. I think tooltips would be accessibility. Off. Don't need those. Not for this plane. Alright, so let's do our safety checks. Parking brake is on, flaps and speed brake retracted, engine master switches off, engine ignition mode normal. Move it slightly up. I like to turn on the integrated lighting on the main panel and pedestal. Don't need any floodlights today. Make sure our thrusters, our thrust levers are idle. Turn up our ECAM upper and lower display. These are the middle panels, so this is lower and that's upper. Landing gear is down. Nose wheel anti-skid on. If we want, we could get this and kind of get the brightness. I don't know if that's going to do anything right now. Jump up to, you go to glare shield and turn these knobs. I'm going to turn the brightnesses up on all this. And since we are going to be taking off about 1:30 in the afternoon, I want the brightnesses up so we can see our screens. Go to the overhead panel, make sure our wipers are in the off position, and I turned the ATC sound back out, so I'm going to want to make sure our co-pilot doesn't talk to ATC right now. I can turn on this overhead integrated lighting. That way when we hit the power, we'll see everything light up. Cool. So 1 and 2 for the batteries. External power is available. Well, Gen 2, Gen 1 is the default. External power is available, so I'll turn that on. Kind of hard to see the lights. Oh, there. We're going to go... Strobe auto. Nav logo light on. Through oxygen supply. Ground control auto. Nav 1, 2, and 3. Do our APU fire test. Engine 2 test and engine 1 fire test. Alright. About here, seatbelt signs remain off until we are fueled. No smoking auto, emergency lights on. Alright. Turn these screens up. Our ND and our MFD. Alright, and we do have the jetway connected, so let's get the passengers coming on board. And frame rate's taking a little bit of a hit, but that's because we are at a busy international airport right now. And a lot of traffic. We're going to send our request for our passengers. 168 passengers going to board. Here they are coming on board right now. I think I turned the boarding music off. There is boarding music included now. Since we don't have any Wizz Air boarding music, we have boarding music included with FlyByWire. Kind of hear the passengers coming on board. I don't want to do it. I might want to just put my audio. My audio level is really low. Alright. Let's see. Let's go, we get our ATC. Well, PAC-X. I want to get PAC-X going first.
Barcelona ground, Lot 438 requesting pushback. Lot 438 pushback request accepted.
I feel like I have something in my teeth. Alright, passengers are boarding with PAC-X. See it on the bottom there. And let's get our clearance.
Barcelona Clearance delivery was 3866 IFR. Tirana is ready to copy.
WYCC 3866 is cleared to Rennes Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 02 climb and maintain 13,000 feet. Departure frequency is 119 or decimal 45 squawk 2646.
3866 cleared Tirana Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 02 climb and maintain 13,000 feet. Departure on 119.45 squawk 2646.
WICC 3866 readback is correct.
Too bad they can't say whiz.
122.23 when ready to taxi. Good day.
Actually couldn't on the last flight, or not last flight, but a couple flights ago when it was Montenegro Airlines, I couldn't even put Montenegro in as the call sign. I think I realized something, is that actually if you put certain words in as the call sign, it won't accept those words. I'm guessing it wasn't expecting Montenegro because Negro at the end of the word, and kind of silly because it's not at all. I mean, it's part of a whole bigger word, and I mean, Negro literally means black in Spanish. Now, I'm not sure what Montenegro means. Just check that. I'm very curious now that I think about it. Yep, that's what I thought it meant. It means Black Mountain. So I'm guessing because that's not what it is in Montenegrin in the local language or in Albanian. But the literal meaning of the Montenegrin is Black Mountain, and so then it got somehow translated into Spanish, Latin, and it's Monte, mountain, and Negro, which is black, the Black Mountain. I was figuring that. And I couldn't even use that as the call sign, which is the real call sign for Montenegro Airlines, because, well, it's got an offensive word in it. Alright, we got the ATC clearance. Passengers are coming on board. Let's get into the FMS. And I'm going to pull up on the little pad for you guys the flight plan. For myself. Let's see. We're right up here. So we want our alternate, which is going to be Lima, Golf, Tango, Sierra. I have no idea what airport that is. Where that is, I mean. I hate it when that happens, when you try to adjust the camera and then you lose the cursor. There it goes again. Lost the cursor. Come on, let me do things with the camera. Continue on cursor. Go. Alright. Flight number is 3866. Cost index 10. Cruise flight level is 390 is going to be our highest flight level. We have a few steps like we did on our last flight the other direction. I think we need to do wind effect. I don't know how to do that. We'll have a wind thing on the page. Go on the flight plan. I already put in, we're going to take off runway 2. I'm going to have to adjust this. Flight plan has us taking off runway 6. Change that in Navigraphs. Runway 2.
Turkish 1836 is cleared to Kurtkay Airport.
And we can take
Takeoff runway 02
Verso 1 and Golf.
Departure frequency is 127.7 squawk 57.
We'll take Verso 2 Sierra. Go back in here. Departure runway 2. And our SID will be Verso 2 Sierra.
Turkish 1836 cleared to Kurtkay Airport is fine. Takeoff runway 02 climb and maintain 5,000 feet.
Insert.
Departure on 119.
And that should take us to Verso, which is our first waypoint of the day. From Verso, we're going to go on an airway, so click on the left, and then on this right button, Airways, via, we're going to be Uniform Flight 24. We're going to go direct to Lapit, on the airway to Lapit, waypoint. We're going to take another airway Uniform November 725, Orcom. Orcom, we're going to take Uniform Mike 603 to LSAG. Insert, because now we're going to start doing just direct waypoint to waypoint. you can see like here, there were a couple waypoints that were added in. We lap it and or come on that uniform November airway. Nothing really much on that uniform Mike one. Sometimes there's no point in winning the airway actually. Anyway, LSAG, we're going direct to Alpha Lima Golf. Is yes, it's gonna be this one. Seems about right. Should be the closer one. In most cases, it's going to be the closer one. Okay, direct to Arsic. From Arsic, we're going to Morab. Hotas.
Barcelona Clearance delivery.
Hotas.
1349er IFR to the call ready to copy. Airfraz 1349er is cleared to the Gaulle Airport as filed.
Proton.
Takeoff runway 02 climb and maintain 11,000
Papa
feet.
November Zulu, so we went to this one yesterday on our flight the other direction. This is just off the coast of Italy. We're going to take that direct to Top No.
Airfraz 1349er cleared
Luxor.
to the Gaulle Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 02 climb and maintain 11,000 feet. Departure on 119.45, squawk
Appease.
4245. Airfraz 1349er rate
And
back to
Etan.
Ryzen. Contact ground on 122.23. Good day.
We'll put in our arrival, our planned arrival is going to be runway 35. We'll do, I think it's going to be a VOR. Runway 35 and our star, D10 1 November. Via, guessing if I do runway 35, VOR, now we have two options. We could fly all the way into the VOR, which is the airport, and then fly back out, or we can just go to final. We're going to go just to final for now. Likely, ATC will tell us to fly all the way in. Oh, actually, they have us fly all the way in, because the way the ATC in the sim likes to do it, they like to have us fly into the VOR and then fly back out, set up.
We're ready to go.
And so all their descents are going to be based on that. Well, let's just plan for that, and if they change it, then we'll be already at a good altitude. Alright, I'm gonna just kind of jump up here, go to plan mode. We're gonna go step by step through the flight plan, make sure everything looks and makes sense, there's no discontinuities. This part looks a little weird. I don't know what. Alright. What I should be doing, because I wanted to go into the VOR, is it should go in and then have a loop back out. So I'm going to do, I'm going to change that. Not working very nicely. Get this, just get rid of that via. VOR 35. E10, 2H, or 1 November, no vias, go direct to final, insert,
Barcelona Clearance delivery RYANAIR 69er 3 ready.
Still having that issue.
Clearance to Fiume.
I don't know what's going on here.
Ryanair 69er
We'll just have to get to it when we get to it.
Airport is filed.
Go back.
Takeoff runway 02 climb and maintain 7,000
FMS is still having a few little issues like that, draw issues. That via in. I want to go in all the way because that's what the ATC is going to give us. It always does. And that's good. That's all we need to do. We are going to close and brief for now. we go to the radio nav page. I'm going to bring up Navigraphs for you guys. What I'm going to look at is this final chart for the VOR. We do need the VOR. VOR is 117.7 for Tirana.
Contact ground on 121.655 when ready to taxi. Good day.
Course is going to be 350, so that is runway 35 is exactly 350 degrees. It's not as common as you think. There are some radial things we can do if we need to do that. Throw that in later. That's all there is, a VOR. So, alright, that. Go to back to our weights and balances page because passengers should be getting close to being all on board. We have 2 more passengers. Alright, passengers are all on board. Go to a NIT page 2. Get our 0 fuel weight. Center of gravity is 24.6. Fuel planning. We need 7. We have 7 point per minute. Kind of close on that. Okay. And we also need our trip wind. That will help us with our fuel burn. Must be right up here. Average W/C plus 53. That means we have a tailwind. We go 053. This will change to TL, tailwind. So the thing's adjusted, trip time. Alright, now I'm going to pull up a pretty new thing here is a performance calculator. It's called a SimSmart. And it's actually based on the real life performance calculator they use in the A320. We put in our airport. In real life, you actually they manually put in the metadata. We can actually auto select it, which is cool. We're taking off runway 2. It automatically gives us the runway length and the slope. So remember, when I was using that online calculator, they'd ask for that slope, and I could never figure it out. It didn't just matter. I don't have the equation in front of me. Got the METAR. Wind 330, 8 knots. Outside air temperature 7. QNH 10.7. QNH. What did I say? 10.7. 1017. Put that in right there. On our performance page. Alright. Runway condition dry, anti-ice off, take off weight. Just stayed on it too. 67.3 tons. 67.3. Takeoff center of gravity is 24.6%. That's forward. Anything under 27% is forward. Anything over is standard. We're going to do flex thrust for takeoff. We'll do flaps 1 plus F. Air conditioning is, I usually keep it on. And calculate. Alright, so that's our max takeoff weight right there. Obviously, we're well below that. Our V1. Now, V1 speed is the speed that, at that speed, once you get to that speed, that's the last point you can stop for and still have enough runway to get stopped. Once you pass that speed, you have to take off. And you can see they're pretty close together because, again, we're not too heavy. The heavier we are, shorter the runway, that V1 speed is going to be a lot lower than that rotate speed, which is rotates when you pull back and take off. Our transition altitude, I believe, was 5,000. Double check that. 6,000. Knew it was something like that. Alright, thrust reduction altitude is me 1,007. Actually, put 1,000. I'm just gonna round down, round up, and then engine out, same thing, 1,007. Flex takeoff temperature 64 degrees Celsius. Flaps 1, and we're gonna be up 1.6 on the trim. Okay, and that's all we need to do. Passengers are all on board. We can turn those seatbelt signs on. We have our flight directors. We are ARC and 10. Let's zoom in on here. Glare shield. FCU altitude is our initial 13,000. Speed as required or dashed. Heading is dashed. Will be managed. IRS alignment complete. EFIS is ARC 10 miles. Flight directors both on. Here, APU master switch. Looking for the flap to open. Door. Start.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome aboard flight 3866. Our flight time will be roughly 2 hours. Now that the cabin door is closed, please make sure that all devices are in airplane mode and ensure that all tray tables and seat backs are in a full upright and locked position for departure. Flight attendants, please prepare cabin for departure.
Hey, APU bleed on. What did I want to do? Just forgot what I wanted to do. Oh yeah. Close our cockpit door. Here's the wind shear on. External power disconnected. And turn on the beacon light. We're ready. We have a tug already in position, I think. Yes, we do. Oh, we're going to begin our bush back. Before I do that, we close let's close the extra crap we have on the screen. Alright, and make sure I have a chart. Just make sure I go in the right place in the airport. Take off runway 2, so we don't have much of a taxi. It'll be kind of a nice short taxi. Go. Oh, stop. Alright, if you're using the pushback, make sure you disconnect the parking brake first. There we go. Should really turn the fuel pumps on first. Long time ago, actually. Start engine 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your complete attention to the flight attendants as they demonstrate the safety features of our aircraft. You will notice a light illuminated above your seat. When this light is illuminated, please fasten your seatbelt low and tight across your lap. To fasten, insert the metal fittings into one another and tight by pulling on the loose end of the strap. To release your seatbelt, lift the upper portion of the buckle. Just to keep your seatbelt fastened throughout the flight as you experience unexpected turbulence. There are several emergency exits on this aircraft. To familiarize yourself with the emergency exits on this aircraft, please refer to the safety card in the back pocket in front of you. In some cases, the nearest exit might be behind you. If you need to evacuate the aircraft, please start lighting on the floor to guide you towards the exit. In the event that the cabin loses pressure and oxygen,
Hey, Lazaro Silva, welcome! Pushing back at Barcelona.
located in a pouch under your seat or between the armrests. When instructed to do so, open the plastic pouch and
Alright,
remove
we
the vest.
should have... Let's say available. I'm not sure why it's not saying available there.
Pull the strap to tight. To inflate the vest, pull firmly on the red cord only when exiting.
Starting engine 1.
If it doesn't inflate automatically, you may blow into the mouthpiece for manual inflation. The vest is equipped with a whistle and a light. If you need to, your seat cushion can be used as a secondary emergency device. Please make sure to exit the aircraft as soon as possible and leave your belongings. Please securely stow your personal items. Make sure
Lazaro. No, I'm not Portuguese. I'm just English. Or, well, I'm American. Alright, we got both our engines just about available. Electrical. The electric is being produced by the engines, so I should go ignition normal. APU bleed and master switch off. Runway turn off light and taxi lights on. Let's see. Transponder is set. Probe window heat auto. Spoilers. Flaps set to first position. Or takeoff position, so the front here is going to come out, and it's also going to go to this. That's the 1 plus F, I guess. Well, I hope you still come along and enjoy the visuals. If you don't understand exactly what I'm saying, sorry about that. I don't know Portuguese, unfortunately. Let's see, anti-ice if required, don't need it. Auto brake. Here. Auto brake, max. Runway turn off light and nose lights on. Weather radar. 1. And parking brake. Get our taxi clearance.
Let's go.
Hold position, airframes 1349er.
Barcelona ground, Wistree 866 with whiskey ready to taxi IFR.
WIZZ386, taxi to and hold short of runway 02 using taxiway, Juliet 7 Kilo 7. Contact tower on 122.1 when ready.
Barcelona ground, WIZZ386 with whiskey ready to taxi IFR.
WIZZ
Should go out there, actually.
Taxi to and hold short of runway 02 via taxiway, Juliet 7 Kilo 7. Contact tower on 122.1 when ready.
Taxi to and hold short runway 02 using taxiway Juliet 7 Kilo 7 WIZZ386.
Chronometer on. Take off the big test.
Airbus A20N on the taxiway. Ryanair 9er 553, continue taxi. Ryanair 9er 553, hold position caution, the Airbus A20N on the taxiway. Ryanair 9er 553, continue taxi. Ryanair 9er 553, hold position caution, the Airbus A20N on the taxiway. Ryanair 9er 553, continue taxi. Ryanair 9er 553, hold position caution, the Airbus A20N on the taxiway. Ryanair 9er 553, continue taxi.
We are at Barcelona.
Roger on YANAIR 9er 553.
Right now we're at Barcelona International. Barcelona El Prat International in Barcelona, Spain, and we're headed to Tirana International Airport in Albania.
Following 853, 8 pushback request accepted.
We're on Juliet 7 right now. We're going to turn over. Where was that next turn right here to Kilo 7? And we're already at runway 2. Runway right in front of us.
Tower WIZZ3866 at runway 02 ready for departure IFR to Rinus.
WIZZ3866, hold, short runway 02. Traffic is Boeing 737 on the runway.
Hold short runway 02 WIZZ3866.
Alright, I wonder if that's if the Boeing on the runway is that Ryanair. He's kind of doing whatever.
7-tree, line up and wait.
Probably what he's doing.
Barcelona Barcelona Tower boiling, 865313 miles, south inbound ILS, Yankee runway, 02 approach. Turkish 1836 contact Barcelona Center on 119.45. Good day. Fueling 8653 Barcelona Tower. QNH 30.03 wind 3, 29er at 14. Cleared ILS, Yankee runway 02 approach.
Line up and wait RYANA IR 6973.
Cleared ILS, Yankee runway 02 approach, modeling 8653.
Okay, Ryanair's taking off ahead
Going
of
to
us.
119.45 Turkish 1836.
Can't really see.
Ryanair 29er, 21 follow the aircraft, tone final. Wind 329er at 14. Cleared to land runway 02. Ryanair 69er 73 QNH 30.03 wind 3, 29er at 14. Cleared for takeoff runway 02.
Cleared to land runway 02 RYANA IR 29er21.
Okay, so I'm assuming that Ryanair is going to take off
Cleared for
because
takeoff runway 02 RYANA IR 69er73.
another Ryanair coming in on final. Right there. Assuming there's actually a bunch of planes coming in. They might be all on top of each other. Spacing is not perfect with Alpha India group traffic, so that's why you see that clump of planes right there off in the distance.
WICZ3 866 line up and wait.
Line up and wait WIZZ3 866.
Alright, it's almost line up and wait.
Ryanair 69er 73 contact Barcelona Center on 119er decimal.
I'm a little nervous about that.
Good day.
Sounded like another plane was coming in. Maybe that.
8653 number 2 for landing. Follow the Boeing 737 on final. Wind 329er at 14. Cleared to land runway 02. Cleared to land runway 02.
Alright, we should be cleared to take off. If we're lining up and wait.
Ryanair 29er 21 go around. WIZZ3 866 QNH 30.03 wind 3, 29er at 14. Cleared for takeoff runway 02.
Cleared for takeoff runway 02 WIZZ3 866.
Okay, see, they told us to line up and wait. They should have just told us to wait. So now you got all these planes having to go around because they told us to line up and wait. I knew that was a problem. I should have actually, I just watched a video about that kind of mistake. That was a CATC told us to line up and wait. I knew that Ryanair was coming in to land, and I didn't realize it was right there. Hey, see, now you got another one going around, and he's probably gonna run right into us. Man.
Contact Barcelona approach on 126.505. Good day. WIZZ3 866 contact Barcelona Center on 119.45. Good day.
Alright, positive rate.
119.45
Autopilot engaged.
WIZZ3 866. Barcelona Center WIZZ3 866 is passing 1,100.
I mean, look at that other plane just right over us. Terrible spacing. Alright, so we're at 1,007 feet, so we're going to pull back to the climb indent. There. We're like literally following him. We get a little bit of a look at the updated Barcelona. This is why I turned off the ATC
Bologna 2067 climb and
ATC voices, because they
100 feet.
talk way too much.
Turkish 1836, please expedite your climb 5,000 feet.
Alright, I think we must have a limit
3214
constraint here
maintain 2,800
of 200
Iberia tree 231
feet,
climb
200, I'm
and
guessing.
5,700 feet. Eurowing 7520, please expedite your climb 7,000 feet. Ryanair 6423, you are 4,200 feet above your assigned altitude. Descend and maintain 2,100 feet QNH tree 0.0 Ryanair tree 442, please expedite your descent 2,000.
Black Diamond, I'm flying with Alpha India group traffic, so it's AI. That's why in the ATC it doesn't work well with the altitudes, because the in-game ATC does not understand transition points, so all these, you know, they're probably off by like maybe 100 feet or something. It's freaking out. And yeah, they told us, ATC told us to line up and wait. They cleared Ryanair like 600 something to take off. He took off, and another Ryanair was cleared to land right behind him, and then they told me to line up and wait. Now I should have just waited myself. You can actually see the traffic right there. He's 6,000 feet below us, I believe, or is that above us? But yeah, that Ryanair went around right over us. It almost hit us. Hey, Creep Kirk. And then the next plane, because again, the ATC Alpha India group traffic, it doesn't work perfectly together, and the spacing isn't always right. You're gonna run into things obviously that you're not gonna have on VATSIM, hopefully.
2,100 feet.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have now passed 10,000 feet. You may now turn on your larger portable electronic devices.
Landing lights off. Seatbelt signs off.
It's not confiscated in the galley or near the lavatory. This aircraft is equipped with onboard Wi-Fi. If you wish to connect to the Wi-Fi, you'll be directed to a page through a small fee for internet access. We do offer complimentary in-flight support for internet. Connect to the Wi-Fi and be able to access our wide range of Wi-Fi.
Ryanair 2803 traffic is 11 o'clock, 4 miles at 7,900 feet. Airbus
The flight still has
A319.
turned off for fast
Report them in
results.
sight. Ryanair 2803, please expedite your descent 4,600.
Hey, Ben.
Iberia
Banya's player, yeah, default ATC. I turned it off yesterday for both the flights, and it was kind of nice not having to hear them, but
your descent 2,800 feet.
it also felt a little lonely at the same time.
Your descent 2,100 feet.
Glad to have you guys both here. I guess you guys aren't streaming tonight, or really streaming right now.
Wind 3866 climb and maintain 17,000 feet.
Yeah, I think tonight I'm going to do this flight, and then I'm going to do a little short hop up from Albania up to Bosnia. And then probably Thursday I have a, what do I have for World Tour flight? Yeah, Thursday I have a 57-minute, about an hour flight from, oh no, what am I looking at? Oh, never mind. Yeah, I have a 2-hour flight from Bosnia up to Sweden, and I think I can get the 2 flights in on Thursday night. I think it'll be on the next weekend. I'm going to just probably do a short flight. I'm only going to have time to do a short flight because of the next flight. It's like an hour, but then the next flight's like 2.5. That'd be too much flying, I think. But maybe at that one I'll bust out the Boeing 247. Oh yeah, I saw you play Tiny Tina's. You're just streaming that on Discord, it looks like, yeah? I didn't see you on Twitch.
Wind 3866, please expedite your climb 17,000 feet.
Currently driving home, but not texting.
Ryanair 2803, please expedite your descent 4,600 feet. Iberia 231, please expedite your descent 5,700 feet. France Soleil tree.
How do we break the... How do you do it?
Turkish 1836, please expedite your descent 5,000 feet.
Twice the text. Awesome.
Wistry 86. Wistry 866, please expedite your climb 17,000 feet.
Let's see, we do have some step climbing here, so
Ryanair 2803, please expedite your descent 4,600
let's.
feet. Iberia Tree 231, please expedite your descent 5,700 feet.
Bravo Lima 037.
France Solile Tree 214, please expedite your descent.
Okay, so our top of climb is going to be once we hit the airway uniform Mike 24. Top of climb 32,000 feet. Initial top of climb.
Travel 688, please expedite your descent 7,000 feet. Turkish 1836, please expedite your descent 5,000 feet. Iberia Tree 231 traffic is 3 o'clock, 4 miles at 3,800 feet.
It's gonna be, should be about, I'm guessing it'll probably be 2 hours when it's all said and done. Because it was about a 2.5 hour flight from Montenegro yesterday all the way over here. We're basically flying to the same place. Albania is just a little bit south where we were yesterday. We're just kind of flying back and forth. Maybe I will turn off the... Alright, we're going to turn off the ATC voice. I don't like going into my menu to do this. I don't like breaking the flow, but... Dude, it's... We can still talk to ATC, we just don't have to hear them. Bumper to bumper traffic on 75 for the last 30 minutes. Oh, you're down in Florida on 75, yeah. How many VATSIM flights have you done so far? Or do you log into VATSIM every time? I know, I need to update the client and make sure that's ready, and then I'll have to jump in. I mean, right now, again, no coverage over Europe right now, so if I was on VATSIM, it wouldn't make a difference, really, but I do need to start getting used to it. Yeah, and at least log in, because then at least you get the hours, your flight hours, and you can, you know, kind of practice over Unicom, I suppose. I want to request I don't really need to request the increase. Guess I'm not listening to it anyway. $32,000 feet until we get to let's see, we're gonna be at 32,000 until we get to basically get into the Rome airspace. That's gonna be LSAG or come, and then we'll start climbing to 380. Yeah. Well, I mean, the reason I'm stubborn and kind of keep sticking with the in-game ATC is because I'm flying with the Alpha India Group traffic, and so the in-game ATC is dealing with that traffic, and you know, I don't want to kind of fly into a airport and all the AI traffic's going the opposite direction, and if I'm on the VATSIM network, that's the problem, is that if you can't use both together, really. I did try it. I think I flew into Athens on the VATSIM network, That was just Unicom. But on VATSIM, we were all coming in one direction, and then all the AI traffic for Alpha Unit Group traffic was coming in the other direction. And that's what's really frustrating, is that for some reason the AI ignores winds or something. It always does it. Well, it doesn't always, but it often seems to pick the wrong runway. So it's kind of a give and take. It's kind of disappointing because that was the whole thing I was hoping for. I was hoping for the better ATC. That was one of the big things I was looking forward to with Microsoft Flight Simulator, and really hasn't played out at all. I'm trying to think, because I had the world traffic payware to add traffic in on an X-plane, and I don't remember how that interacted with how well that interacted with the ATC over there, but I don't think it was as bad as this. And you didn't have to hear it as much or something. I don't know. I don't remember it being as distracting. I also wasn't streaming, so I guess I could always kind of ignore it, turn it down, turn point. So we're leaving Spain behind us, headed out over the Mediterranean. Scattered clouds right now. Hopefully we can go over Sardinia and Italy and not have a blanket. Actually be able to see when we're flying over. Hey, Fearless Gaming! Welcome in. What's that say? Oh, bank angle. Going good. We're able to start the stream on time. Relatively. I think by the time I got actually started, it was 7:40, but I hit the stream button at 7:30, I think. So better than yesterday, where I was, 7:30. I load in. I have the experimental A32NX, and I'm sitting there at the gate, and my fly pad won't turn on because it has no battery. It's like, really? I have to plug the dang fly pad in? It literally had a little low battery symbol, and then when you turn the battery and the external power on for the plane, then it has a little power thing saying it's being... Yeah. But how do you charge it? And really, guys, you're gonna add that as a thing? Like, I just want to load into the experimental version or whatever plane that has the EFB and just have the EFB work. I don't need to simulate charging an EFB on my stream, okay? I don't need that. I don't need that level of realism. Now the EFB, yeah. Well, I'll still say that the EFB for fly-by-wire is still, it's not as, at least still in the development. I think experimental they've changed the EFB completely, or really done a number on the operating system. But like here, the only thing I really use in here is I think I use this calculator, top of descent, and then I use the fuel, which is I mean, it's not really easy mode. I think when I think of easy mode with an EFB, I think of the CRJ one, the Aerosoft one for the CRJ. Because that one, you can set all your weights and everything. You just set right in there and can copy it right into the FMS from there. You don't have to input it. You can copy your V1, V2, V rotate, all those speeds. Just copy it into there. Not have to do all the dials and everything. That's kind of easy mode. The 247, on the other hand, is it's like crank. I have literally no idea what I'm doing to start that plane. I mean, at first I was just doing the cranking. I'm like, okay, what do I do? And I'd hit that mesh thing, and then it would just go clunk and it would stop. I was like, oh yeah, I gotta, okay, you have to do that little wobble pump thing. Okay, then I finally got it spinning and everything, but then it would die. I'm like, okay, I guess I have to add more throttle. So I do that, and then I get the other engine going. By the time I get the other engine going, this engine would be on fire and would explode. And and then I did some. I started doing that tutorial flight, but I couldn't really get the radio thing down. Like I was hearing the signal, and I was kind of cheating and watching the map on the little nav map to kind of see, okay, am I on the line? What should I be hearing right now? And I'd be way south of it, and I'd be hearing one thing. I'd get way north of it, I'd be hearing the other thing. I'd be on the line, and I would never get that continuous signal. But I am excited to well, FlyByWire, the A32NX. At least at this point, I have hundreds of hours in it now. Is I can do it like without even thinking about it now. Way easier than the 247, but of course I have maybe an hour futzing around with that plane. E-band easy enough. Oh. Well, I was just skimming through the documentation and just kind of going, oh my god, I gotta figure out carburetor and oil temps and heat and oh man. And then I gotta try to figure out how to do the radio navigation. But once you knock it out, once you figure out how to do it, you're gonna be like, yeah. I should probably turn off the failures for now and just kind of figure out how to do the basic thing. I don't know if those were... See, I didn't think they were failures. I thought it was just it was likely I was doing it wrong and it was causing that. Like, when I think of failures, I think, something just breaks. Versus I started the engine wrong and let the oil heat build up too hot or something and blew the engine. Yeah. So I don't want to... I don't want it to... it's kind of like in, even this A32NX, if you forget to turn the fuel pumps... I think in real life, you probably have to turn the fuel pumps on earlier. But you can always turn them on, right as you're starting the engine. Go on this side. Inland, say, Hua Nyang. Is that what it is in Chinese? What is it in Chinese? What? Oh, what is it in Chinese? How do you say it in Chinese? Oh, Taiwan translation of the Taiwan thing. What is this? The natural fermentation of pure glutinous rice, being able to be added to eggs, rice, glue, pudding, flavored wine, and appetizers. Being able to be added. Ooh. There's a... I don't know if she can actually eat that. That is a lot of rice wine, I think. Or a lot of fermented stuff going on in that bottle of whatever that is, wine. What's real time? My flight? Yeah, this is real time. Oh, we're already down to 1 hour 16, and we're going to be climbing pretty soon again. So I don't think this flight should take as long. The flight yesterday, flight from Podgorica, Montenegro over to Barcelona, Spain. That was, I think it all told, it ended up being 2.5 hours. I think I finished about 1:30 in the morning. So I'm getting to the point where I want to just start doing my streams at like 6 or something, start much earlier. Because the reason I kept pushing back and I got to about 7:30 to start my streams is because I wouldn't get up. When I first started my new job, I was on my nights off, I wouldn't get up until about 5 o'clock, and then I'd be rushing to try to get to the stream. But now I seem to be getting up at 2, 3 in the afternoon. So I'm kind of sitting around twiddling my thumbs going, okay, when can I start my stream? And then I end up starting to try doing other projects. Like I was looking at how to do pull photo, like Google photogrammetry, make those scenes. Because I want to do that with some, like, Podgorica has 3D Google buildings, but they're not in the sim, that photogrammetry. Unfortunately, Tirana, I wanted to find some for Tirana, Albania, and I looked on Google and there's no photogrammetry for it. But I'm assuming, let's see, where else are we going? Sarajevo, Bosnia also probably has it, I would hope, but I'm kind of planning, my plan is, and maybe it'll fall apart and I'll just end up doing it live stream again, is I'm basically, after my live streams, it's 1, 2 in the morning. I don't want to be talking, so what I wanted to do is just kind of record videos of flying around some of these cities I'm flying in, and then kind of make some highlight videos. So I want to get the good photogrammetry for these Eastern European cities that most people aren't flying into, and kind of fly around and point out some of the cool landmarks. And I'll tell you, flying around Ljubljana, Slovenia was much more fun than flying around Paris or Barcelona, because Paris and Barcelona are so big, and so there's so much to kind of fly around. You want to get footage of everything, and then whereas Ljubljana, Podgorica, and here Tirana, these are gonna be kind of these very small cities. And actually, I did that fly around Ljubljana, and then I jumped over the United States. I think I flew around Memphis, and just the comparison between, just the contrast between an American city and, Memphis isn't a huge city on the world stage. Neither is Ljubljana, but just in comparison, the way they're set up too is like Ljubljana is very compact. It's all the buildings are very close. And then you go to Memphis, and you have this downtown, few skyscrapers, and then the rest of it's just trees and open land and houses. And it just goes for miles and miles and miles, and it's so spread out compared to most of the places I've been flying into in Flight Simulator. Alright, passengers are very satisfied right now. That's a good thing. Coming up on Nolvi and Inker. Once we get to Orcum, I'm going to start climbing up to 38,000 feet. I got a tailwind, 81 knots. Yeah, I'm hoping I can get to the point with that Boeing 247 where I can start it up and I can take off and do a good flight with it with the radio navigation. Once I can do that decently,
In a few moments, we'll be starting
or at
our
least
in-flight service. We'll be serving complimentary drinks and snacks.
kind of do something. Maybe not have the radio stuff down completely, but at least get the engines and know how to do that and not have them flame out. And I think I crash landed short of Allentown on that tutorial. My left engine went up in flames. Right engine just stopped working. I put out the fire on the left engine with the extinguisher. I couldn't get the landing gear to go because I think by the time I was planning on ditching, the engines were gone, so I had no power, I think. I have no idea how the batteries, all that stuff works. I was just kind of, okay. Cool plane, though. I kept seeing things. I was flying along, every once in a while I'd see something out of the corner of my eye, like fly off. I thought the engine was falling apart, and I guess it was. It didn't take me that long to get them started. I actually think I got them started within like 20 minutes of 10. Yeah, it wasn't that long. It was like 10-15 minutes. I kind of figured out how to get them started, but then they kept... Yeah, the first time was easy. They start up, but then they stop. They just stop suddenly. They start spooling down, or they click going. Yeah, the whole time I started a flight on the runway too, and to practice to practice the radio stuff, and I'm flying along, and every once in a while I'd see out of the corner of my eye something weird go on, and I was like, okay, and everything looked right. And then every once in a while you'd hear it'd be like the engines would spool down, the propellers would kind of get out of sync, and then they would spool back up. I'm like, okay, that's not normal, is it? Oh, I have no idea what that was. Well, it's funny because now I feel like I've entered, and Creepy was, convincing me the other day to get it. The concept that it's $20. $20, and look at how deep the simulation and the modeling, and I mean, heck, there's flames and smoke coming out of it. Yeah, probably tap and oil related, I would guess. And we were talking. I think I was talking about it on my stream also. The concept that these guys, Wing 42, selling it for $20, and then today I was watching a video about. I think I clicked on one of the videos 6 days ago from, I think, Pilot Stud, where he was going through airliners that are projected to come out this year for Flight Simulator. And I think we mentioned the Concorde, and how the Concorde is designed to be, it's not designed to be study level, it's supposed to be for everyone and be at like a fair price point, and it's just supposed to give you the overall experience. It's not 100% accurate and all that stuff. And so that's why they're selling it for like $45. And I guess when you look at the entire market, when you compare that to, PMDG, yeah, I guess. But then now that you have something like, the Boeing 247, and how amazing that is for $20. And again, I keep going back to the FlyByWire for free. You have those two kind of planes, those two kind of products, and then you're trying to sell something for $50 that is not entirely accurate. Hopefully, I'm hoping that Wing 42 really shakes things up for everyone, because I'd like to be able to purchase planes and not have to spend $50 or more on every single one. I don't think it was fuel. It shouldn't have been fuel because I had it set to the huge fuel tank, and I barely made it to Allentown, so I would figure it shouldn't have sucked up all that fuel. Looks like we're gonna have heavy clouds over Sardinia and Italy again. Exciting flying when you're just over the clouds. That's another reason I'm really excited about that plane. I think that when I kind of jumped in and did that tutorial and I saw you guys flying it, and BP mentioned that he was at what, 9,000 feet, and the tutorial basically just gets to 6,000 feet, 6,500 feet for your cruise. It's like, that's kind of cool that it's a plane that's what is basically expected to be flying at that kind of altitude, not at 38,000 feet. And so you're usually going to be able to see the ground, see the scenery, and so you're flying an airliner, but you're also kind of doing some, you can do kind of some VFR as well, to see things. Or sometimes again, these newer planes, and you're up at 35, 40,000 feet, and you're just right above the cloud levels, and that's all you see are the top of the clouds. I mean, the clouds are nice, but my favorite way to have the clouds is kind of you have some clouds but they have those breaks in there and you can see the ground below, shadows. Those are my favorite. That's my favorite kind of scene. When it's just kind of a puffy blanket for your entire flight. A little disappointing. I wonder if that's Italy. It might be Italy. Unless it's Sardinia. Could be Sardinia. I'm not good at distance. I climbed to 38,000. Okay, climb and maintain 38,000 feet. Whiz 3866. That's what I need to start doing. I need to start kind of practicing the readbacks. Kind of hard though when you don't have someone reading to you. Just say, was that you guys practicing VATSIM? But I think that was a Fliggerty. Fliggerty has a little series where he's like learning VATSIM, and he's got a couple of guys that do traffic control as well. So they're not on the VATSIM network doing it. He's just in Discord and they're practicing call outs with them, procedures. Okay, so this is Sardinia. Clouds are going to clear up over Sardinia. Hopefully they stay clear over Italy. Maybe we can see Naples this time. We can fly directly over Naples. Fly a little bit. We're going to fly around Bari today. Naples. Yesterday we flew. What is Bari? Barletta? That's Bari right there. For some reason it doesn't have a city name. Yesterday we kind of flew, flying from up here, kind of flew it down here, across. Basically the same route. Barcelona. Instead of going over Bari, we're gonna cut down a little bit. Setup. And I might change out of this. Right now I have us going all the way to the VOR and then coming back out, because that's what the in-game ATC would likely give us. But we should be able to just go direct to final. Nice, a whole channel. I guess. I mean, we're kind of. That's all we're. A lot of discussion about that right now. I have. Yeah, you're gonna have to. I'm gonna have to kind of look and try to figure out like what I need to map. Because I'm not nearly as advanced as you, Creeper. You have like all these different profiles. Right now I just have one generic profile for my entire flight sim experience, which every time I get into a smaller plane and my rudders, you know, I can't keep that plane straight on the runway to save my life because my rudders are very sensitive, I guess, because you want them to be able to do more in the bigger plane. You want them to be able to swing more. In the smaller plane, if you know, I can barely move my rudders, because if I move my rudders just a tiny fraction, my plane just turns sideways and goes flying off into the dirt. So I definitely need to set up some profiles, but I'm terrible at knowing what I need to have set up. Okay, we're supposed to be climbing here. Pull this. Pull this. On the A32NX, that nose wheel, you detach that? So do you mean on the Creepy, do you mean on the A32NX you have your like a separate for the tiller, and then your I think my nose wheel is still connected to my rudder pedals. Like I can still use my rudder pedals for the nose wheel on the A32NX, but they're much less effective than just doing my tiller thing. And I do have the key. I do have the button set. I don't know which button I have set on my joystick to disconnect, so that when I'm using my tiller, or when I am using the nose wheel and using the tiller, I can like test the rudder pedals, but they won't do anything with the nose wheel, obviously, because they're disconnected. So I have to go back. Like I said, I have to go back and then I have to write down like what the heck things are, or put post-it notes or little tabs on things. I don't know. Yeah, I have the tiller map to that, and then there's I forget what the but there's a button. I forget what you're supposed to map can map to a certain thing that has to do with something to do with the like a seaplane rudder, I think, and it's a button, and you map it to that. You map some button to that, and that will connect and disconnect your rudder pedals from the nose wheel. Yeah, water rudder. But I can't remember which button I set for that. on my things, though. I have a lot of things set, and I never use them because I forget where I set them. I was a lot more diligent in X-Plane about figuring things out like that. Alright, we're over Sardinia. Climbing to 38,000 feet. Is that something you can set up, or is that just the A32NX does that? I've never seen that. What should it... I've never seen anything saying something detached or... in the settings. Separate tiller from rudder inputs, enabled. So just that. So maybe it does, maybe mine automatically already does it. Now, but you're able, like when we're taking off and we're trying to stay centered, are we using the rudder then? Because we're going at a faster speed than I would assume your nose wheel is, so are we using that rudder? Because I use the rudder pedals when I'm taking off to maintain the plane on the center line, and when I'm landing also because your tiller is not going to be able to do that. So I'm assuming because you're not nose wheel at that time. Oh. What's the yellow pressure system? That could mean hydraulics. Oh, okay. I never paid attention to the green, blue, and yellow. I knew there was... I don't think I really pay attention to the hydraulic system in the... Oh, okay, yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, it's on engine 2 there. That's why. Well, that's what I was wondering, Fearless. Like, if you don't, like, but then what do you use to keep your plane straight? Or does, you know, because I think doesn't the Airbus pull to the left? I know props do, but are you actually using the rudder then? Alright. Well, maybe for the next flight I will go check what my control is for locking, unlocking it, and I will do the proper locking there. And yeah, well, I mean, like I said, it's like there's so many, and that's the thing, you can learn so much stuff. So many people know different things. There's different levels of knowledge. It's amazing how much you can do. You know, it's a good thing that you don't need to know every single little perfect, exact, realistic way of doing everything to be able to fly these planes in the simulator. Otherwise, it would be kind of miserable. Yeah, like like I just got this new. I bought it. I think it was like $6.5 for. It's called Smart. What is it called? Smart. SimSmart. And it's the calculator for the A320, and it's kind of based on the real life one they use for the takeoff calculator. So I don't have to go to some random website and do it anymore. It's got a database, and it automatically gives you your runway length and slope and all that. Oh, like it's going to add in, the Sim Update 9 is going to add in like an actual control for tiller, so it's not like set to, you know, water rudder. Well, water rudder's for the little button, the disconnect, but prop mixture. Well, what's nice about having the calculator is that you can do your flex takeoff then. And yeah, I don't know if it's worth, you know, I suppose you could still go to that website and do it that way. I mean, I was like, you know, it's $6.50, and it's really, it looked like it was really nice, compact kind of thing that works. And, you know, there's a lot of, you know, it sounds like they have a bunch of A320 pilots working with them on that, so they're going to make it as accurate and realistic as possible. So, I was like, well, that seems like something that'd be useful, and I'll use every flight. Because that was one thing I was hoping that FlyByWire would get eventually, sooner or later, was, you know, get a takeoff calculator like that. You know, because yeah, the MCDU can do your V speeds, and I compared them. I used the calculator and I did the MCDU, and the one flight it was like about a 10 knot difference. Like the SimSmart calculator actually had the V1 speed 10 nautical miles faster. So it was like, hey, you could stay on the runway longer actually, get some more speed. You don't have to take off so early. So that's kind of one of those purchases where it's like, okay, was it worth $6? I mean, I could have worked around it and just, you know, let the MCDU do it. You know, it was accurate enough. I was getting the plane off the ground, wasn't having issues. So that's one of those things where it's like, maybe that's something I didn't need to buy. Yeah, and that's what I used to do too. I used to just put like about, you know, between 50 and 60 for flex, because that's usually what it ends up being. So that's what always gets me, is that there's all these, you know, some of these tools where they charge, you know, I mean, I think I jumped at it because it was like just $6. I was like, okay, whatever. But there's some of these things where it's like, okay, do I really need to spend $20 on this? Is this something that's going to make or break? And on Pokav. For our flight level 380, we're gonna, once we get the top no for Luxil, we're gonna climb to 39. Why? Why even do that? Weird. I don't think we're even gonna climb to 390. It's always weird where the flight plan has that last step that it's like, okay, climb to flight level 390 for a mile and then start descending from there. I have some slight length on this flight, so I'm gonna, while we're going here, I'm gonna let's do a language lesson. At least do one. I seem to always be able to, if I work at it, I can get one in. Do Hebrew. Let's do some Hebrew. Let's do some Hebrew. Let's see if I can remember it.
כלב רע.
What?
יש להם כלב רע.
They have a Kelev is dog, and Ra is bad, so a bad. They have a bad dog.
לילד יש תפוח.
The boy. Yeah, the boy has apple.
יש לכם כלב טוב. יש לכם כלב טוב.
You have good dog.
יש לנו עוף.
Have
יש לנו מיץ טעים. יש לנו מיץ טעים. יש לנו מיץ טעים.
oh, I'm jumping in.
יש לנו מיץ טעים. יש לנו מיץ טעים.
Oh yeah, yes.
יש לכם כלב.
You have a dog.
לגברים יש חלב.
Men have no.
אין להן. האם ליונה יש מים?
Does the pigeon have water?
אין לכם חלב?
You have oh,
אין להם יין טוב.
they don't have good wine.
סליחה, יש לכם ספר?
Me? Do you have
אין לכם עוגה?
we have a cake.
אין להם כלב.
They don't have
האם יש להן תפוח חמוץ?
They have a sour apple.
יש לנו מיץ טעים. יש לנו מיץ טעים. אין להן. אין לכן עוגה?
Alright. So we're coming up on Italy, and actually have a clear view today. Let's say those little islands we're coming up on. That's going to be Panza, and that's Papa November Zulu waypoint, or VOR, right there. Oh wow, okay. I didn't realize when we're coming up on Naples, we're actually going to be able to see Mount Vesuvius. That Pompeii is just southeast of Naples. So it'll be over here. I was looking out. I thought I saw somewhere like a mountain peak, like over there maybe. I was kind of curious what that is. Now there are quite a little bit of elevation. Guessing what that might be. That might be Mount Amaro. Mount Amaro. That's what that might be off. That little elevation rise. Alright, so we're over Naples right now, and that's Mount Vesuvius. And ancient Pompeii is like right there. And modern Pompeii and some other cities. My phone talking? That's really cool. Really cool. I didn't think we'd see that. That's Naples right below us, and then Mount Vesuvius up in the nose of the plane. Pretty cool. Oh, I can see what else is going on. Oh, yeah, that's Naples right there. Looks like there's a good photogrammetry down there. Maybe a place I'll have to fly. Might be a place I'll have to fly with a Cessna or something. Kind of fly that area. Real cabin sounds, courtesy of the real baby cabin. Nice. You are sweaty. Hey Marjata, welcome in. We're flying over Italy right now, en route to Tirana, Albania. So if you go back a few minutes, you'll be able to see Naples and Mount Vesuvius and Pompeii. Really nice to be able to fly over Italy today and southern Italy and be able to see the sights versus yesterday where we had a thick cloud layer above us or below us. Marjata. Did I say Marjata? Thinking that's Barletta off this. It's either Barletta or Barrio. I think it's Barletta. Barrio. Basically, we're flying down, and kind of what you're seeing here is the heel of the boot of Italy. There'd be the kind of foot part, rest of the foot, the arch. We're kind of flying down the heel right now. We're going to kind of turn pretty soon. So we're going a little bit south. I'm assuming this is Bari right here. We're going to fly south of there across to Albania. Yeah, I should have known that. I should have, in a lot of cases, the J is a Y sound. In most languages. Quite a few of them, at least. That's cool. From Finland. We're going to be flying up there. I mean, I've already flown into Finland on this world tour. But it won't be the last time we're going to be there. So we're flying to Albania right now. Next flight, we're going to go to Bosnia. But then we're going to be flying up to Sweden, Estonia, Norway, Svalbard. We're going to get into Finland. Probably a couple weeks we'll be up. We'll land in Finland again. We're going to go fly over to Aland as well. Or Aland, I don't know how it's said exactly. Yeah, I'm wrong. This isn't Bari. Bari must be. That must be Bari. Turning south a bit. I should end the tour in Finland because it's Finnish. Or it's the Finnish. Nice. I was wondering why you were telling me to finish the end of the tour in Finland. Why? What's wrong with my tour? Don't like it? I just had to, I had to fly this livery for the Wizz Air. I'm a little confused because there's also a livery for Air France or Paris 2024 Olympics, so I'm very confused about that. What's going on with the Olympics? Or maybe I just read something wrong. Oh, now that I'm looking at the livery a little bit closer here, Budapest was a candidate city for the Olympic Games for 2024. So I don't know if they, yeah, or maybe this livery is a little out of date now because it's been decided. Paris is the site of 2024 Summer Olympics, and then we'll have the Winter Olympics of 2026 will be in Milan, right here in Italy. And then 2028 will bring the Olympics for the first time in 26 years back to the United States. Salt Lake City was the last time in 2002 was the Winter Olympics, and now Los Angeles will have it again in 2028. Be the third time that Los Angeles has hosted the Summer Olympics. Just looking back at the history of the Olympic hosts, and it's very interesting. The ones that were canceled, that have been canceled. There've only been 5 canceled Olympic games, and then there was one that was postponed. The Tokyo Summer Games back in 2020. They were pushed back a year because of coronavirus. But it's very interesting because 1916. Those were canceled because of World War One. Do you know where the host city was for that Olympic? It'd been the sixth Summer Olympiad or whatever you say. It was Berlin. It was supposed to be Berlin, Germany. And then 1936, which was the last year that the Winter and Summer Olympics were held, because they were held in the same year. Once the Winter Olympics came in, they were held the same year as the Summer Olympics. 1936, while the summer was held in Berlin and the winter ones were held earlier in the year, were held in Garmisch-Partenkirchen. So both in Nazi Germany in 1936, and that was the last time the Olympics were held until 1948, when St. Moritz in Switzerland held the Winter Olympics and London held the Summer Olympics. What's interesting is that the 1940 Summer Olympics, and this is what's kind of confusing about this, or no, the Winter Olympics were supposed to be held in Sapporo, Japan, and Garmisch-Partenkirchen, Germany. I don't know why there were 2 places for the Winter Olympics in 1940, but they were canceled due to World War II. It's kind of interesting that Germany got this whole string of Olympics. We were going to host some Olympics, almost 3 straight Olympic events. And then also Japan gets in on the game. Japan was going to host in Sapporo. They're going to host the winter ones in 1940, and then the summer ones in Tokyo, along with Helsinki, Finland. So I don't know how that was going to work. I think if there was going to be an Asian Games, and I don't know what that was. And then 1944, Cortina d'Ampezzo in Italy was going to host the Winter Olympics, and London was going to do the summer ones. I guess they pushed back London 4 years to 1948, but it's kind of interesting how right there in World War II, it seems like all the Olympics were involving Axis powers hosting them. And then the other one in 1916 was also canceled because Germany was hosting. Not because Germany was hosting it, but because of the war. And we have to be careful to not blame World War I on the Germans, because it wasn't their fault exclusively. Anyway, not what I wanted to hit. I wanted to get... We need to start descending. Probably be descending right now. Descend to 20s. Yeah. It's gonna be... It might make sense to go all the way into the VOR point. Seatbelt signs on, descending 27,000.
Ladies and gentlemen, the flight crew has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign. Please return to your seats and fasten your seatbelt.
Oh yeah. Coming up on our star really quick.
To assist with customs at our destination, flight attendants will begin handing out forms momentarily. Please review and complete these forms and keep them with you for presentation upon arrival.
Alright, so when we get to waypoint Pinky, should be at I think 3,800 feet. If we're going into the VOR, we get 7,000 feet at the VOR. Let's see, Pinky, I want to be 3,800 feet. So let's do a calculation, see how brutal this is going to be. Alright, 38 feet. 99 miles. Let's do a fix. Pinky. 90. Do 90. Kind of started descent a little bit. But I think we're going to go all the way into the VOR. We need to be at 7,000 feet at the VOR. Go in here, get our destination data. So the menu is all stuff we could have been doing on our cruise instead of whatever else we were doing. I guess I was holding the baby, right? Got a long flight, and I still somehow scrambling at the end to get descended. Marjata hosted, the Finland hosted the 1952 summer. Was it summer? Yeah, I saw they hosted. Yep, they did. Helsinki was the summer game, and then Oslo, Norway was the. Yeah, and Finland was gonna. I guess Finland was gonna do the summer games in 1940 along with Japan. However, that went forward. Interesting that I'm looking. Is Finland? Yeah, Finland has never hosted. You would think that Finland would have hosted a Winter Olympics. I could have sworn that Helsinki hosted the Winter Olympics at some point. And 1956 was another one. So Italy, Cortina d'Ampezzo hosted the Winter Olympics, but then Australia, Melbourne, Australia, and Stockholm, Sweden for the summer. I don't know how that worked. Anyway, we can look at that later. We can focus on our descent. So get our received messages. The MEDAR, print it out. Something wrong with this, something wrong here. I'm kind of really worried about this approach because all drawn weird. Something broken here. See, taking us into Tirana, which is where we want to go. Not sure what the issue is. Alright, descend and maintain 7,000, expect VOR, DMA runway 17, approach via TRN transition. Okay, so get down to 7,000 feet. We're going in to Tango Romeo November. Exactly what I thought we were going to get. Oh, actually, they want us to go to VOR 17. Let's change that. Arrival VOR 17. We can actually do ILS. Put that in. Via. Should be going from here, Tango, Romeo, November. Okay. That's what I'm wondering what the 1956 one was, though. It looks like... Okay, so everything... So 1956 was split between Melbourne and Stockholm because the equestrian events couldn't be held in Melbourne because of quarantine regulations, I guess. And so the equestrian stuff was done during June 1956, which is summer in the north, and then in November to December 1956 in Melbourne, which is summer in the south, the rest of the stuff was done. That's interesting. And I'm wondering if that's why there aren't more Summer Olympics in the south. I mean, there's not as many major cities vying for the Olympics in the southern hemisphere besides Australia. I have to remember, did Sydney have the for the Sydney Olympics? They must have been doing that. What are we doing here? Why are we not just going to TRN? Okay. No. I want to go to... Okay. What's going on? This is a real messed up approach. I didn't start descending on time, so kind of messy. We're gonna probably go into a hold somewhere. I go direct to Volby. There's the airport. We're quite clearly well above where we should be. Looks like a pretty cool area. I'd like to, unfortunately, not photogrammetry, so maybe I'll do a fly over this area VFR and make a video of it, but it's just going to be autogen. But it's still really cool how good the autogen actually is and how it looks, approximates what a place should look like. Definitely want to do that. I need to start doing that with some African places I've been. Sure. I got some ideas. We are kind of really probably should be doing like a dog leg or something because screwed up this approach. You can also see the FMS is a complete mess right now. Things going everywhere. Probably not the best place to do a hold, actually. Do we not do it like a left-hand hold? Yeah. There we go. Do a left-hand hold. Now we were not descending into the mountain range right there. How about that? I didn't know you could change that. Actually, I didn't realize there you probably should change things here. If you look on here, you know, the course, your time and distance, those are things technically certain holds. Now this isn't technically a hold point. Another airport right up there. Very interesting kind of little mount, like kind of mounds here. I don't know what those are. Pretty cool. Man, I'd love to just fly around here. Yeah, there's so many flights I want to do, and then it's like, okay, do I want to do these? I want to share them all with you guys, but you know, if I do live streaming really late, I can't really talk. Maybe I just do silent and you watch. If you guys want to join in? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys want to rather me just kind of live stream VFR some of these areas, I can do that too. But it'll be after these streams and I probably won't talk. You guys can chat. I'll see your chats. Too late. I don't want to be talking too much. Or if you think I should, if you think I should just do VFR flights, let me know what you guys would like to see. If you think I should do like a flight when I land at a place, then get in the smaller plane, kind of do like what Fliggerty's doing. He's flying into places. And when he lands there, then he gets into a smaller plane or helicopter and does VFR flying in the area. I mean, if you think that'd be something to do, I was just kind of thinking of something I could do when I'm not live. I could kind of do VFRs and some videos. But if you'd like to see them live, you could do that. Definitely stretch this world tour out a long time. Should have our landing lights on. We should also be down to 250 knots. We aren't. This is a very, speed limit exceeded. Very bad approach. This is not how you'd be doing it. You'd be making a phone call in real life, for sure. Get this performance data in. Kind of go in a hold here until we get it all in and ready to go. QNH 1012 actually. That right now. Temperature 7 degrees, a little bit warmer down here in Albania. Winds 350 at 3 knots. Transition altitude doesn't really matter, it's already transitioned, but it was 10,000. Final on the ILS, or our minimum for the ILS, 366 feet. We're going to kind of complete this hold, get down to 4,000 feet, and make the approach. Could be in traffic.
From the flight deck, this is your first officer speaking. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the unfortunate duty to inform you that due to traffic, we're very slightly behind schedule.
I know, we got to figure out where we
apologize
can.
for this flight inconvenience.
I need to figure out what to do for those. What we can spend things on. I'm bad at Twitch. I know. Sorry. Alert. Cool. Ariada's great-grandpa, third great-grandpa, participated in the 1920 games for the Finnish national team. Cool. We can get out of this hold. Alright, landing lights are on, spoilers are armed. Alright, so what's funny is we were actually flying right on the path of the glide slope capture. So we're going to capture the glide, we're going to miss it. Basically, we captured that boulder. I don't think we're going to get back in time. Make a turn the opposite direction. It should be. We're just flying all over the place. Yeah, I'm planning right now on doing it'll be just a short flight, about half an hour, I guess, up to Bosnia-Herzegovina. And I think I'll stick with that plan. I'm still trying to decide what I want to do for live streaming, how I want to do it. I wish I could live stream all night, because then I would definitely, then I could kind of do some. I want to share all my flying, but I also I have, like, with doing the VFR flights over these cities, what I want to do, I kind of want to make some curated videos and have little highlights showing, like, pointing out, okay, here's, you know, points of interest, for example, right? Like, here's the, you know, this museum, or here's this bridge, or this famous cathedral, or whatever. That's kind of what I want to do. So at least I'm gonna hold off on. I'm gonna try to do that. If I get to the point where I just don't have time, I'm too lazy to do it. Which for the last couple nights I have been. After the stream, I don't really end up actually doing anything with my videos I'm recording. Maybe I'll just give in and make that part of my live stream. I keep going back and forth on it. It's Monday for me. It's the 4th. Really cool area. See, it'd be fun to fly with you guys VFR over these kind of areas, but at the same time, I'd like to kind of fly over them and also know what the heck I'm looking at. What is this that we're flying over right now? And obviously I can look while we're doing it. VFR, it's a little bit harder to kind of look at something. I don't know. I'm sure that at some point I'll just give in and I'll be like, nope, we're just gonna make that kind of part of a live stream. Go right there. Go to Volby. Go to Volby and then just go straight. Get to Volby, and then I'm gonna do a direct to Foxtrot 117. That is. You can see our diamond coming into range. Oh, hopefully we get turned here and approach button. Oh, I can hit the approach button right now. Autopilot 1 and 2. And check our approach speed on the performance page. Arm the spoilers. They are armed. Double check. Lights are on. Seatbelts on. This time it's coming over. We're going to line up with that. That's the localizer. This is, not sure what that's called. That's the glide slope. Duh. So you got localizer, captured, glide slope, captured. Plane is starting to descend. And we're going to start slowing down to our approach of 128 knots, which is 5 knots faster than our landing speed, 1.0. We're going full flaps. Field is in sight, runway's in sight. A little bit of a messy approach, but
2,500.
landing gear, medium auto brake. Trees look really nice. That's the John Hibachi's 4-season pack. And unfortunately, when I had the fall colors in, or I can't wait to see the fall colors. I think I flew in the south and didn't really see a ton of fall colors. Pip Kirk with the prediction of -150 for the landing rate. Yeah, so as you can see, pretty generic on the autogen. Some places are much better on the autogen than others. I've noticed lately a lot of these Eastern European places, the autogen is just downright X-plane level, which is a little bit sad because I remember back in, like usually when I've flown over African cities, they looked really good. They kind of lack a little bit here in Europe. Okay, so I think that plane just took off, so we are cleared for landing. Always double check with the ATC. Cleared to land. Of course, it might have been cleared to land a long time ago. Cabin check. Alright, our minimum is 366 feet. About 500 feet, I'll disconnect. Yeah, I don't know how you do it, Creepy Kirk, how you and all the other guys just can focus and get things done with figuring out Twitch and stuff. I'm so scattered. I can never... it's enough for me to just get these few hours in, and then afterwards I kind of just, kind of liquidify and zone out.
500.
Kind of do tasks that require very little brain power. Right.
400. 100 above. 300. Minimum.
Well, my non-streaming nights
200.
I'm working. That's what it is.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20, retard.
I bounced again. It's 3 in a row. I keep bouncing these landings. dragging all the way to the left. I kind of wanted to record that. I should have had my recording, if I could record to see if I bounced, because I feel like I've been bouncing. Getting decent, like the landing rate isn't terrible, but I'm actually bouncing, I feel like. I don't know why I'm doing that. My APU master switch on. Strobe lights off. C, recording, CCAS off. Yeah, what I need to do is in the afternoons. Well, that's what I was saying. It's like I kind of get into doing a project before I do my streams. But what I could do is I could kind of work on that stuff on. Again, that's what I should do after I stream, is kind of work on figuring out some Twitch stuff, spend an hour or two, whatever I'm trying to do. But here's the thing: it seems like I'm always like, okay, I need to do this and this and this, but then I look at my stream, I'm like, okay, I want to change what my stream looks. Like I kind of want to reset. I feel like I have way too much on my screen. And the reason I have all that stuff is because I have the room, because I just want to show you guys the whole wide screen. But I'm thinking maybe I should just cut it down and make it 16:9. Or maybe cut out a little bit of it. I don't know, I just feel like there's too much, you know, maybe I'll just get rid of the what I really want to do. What I really want to do is I kind of want to take I want to remove, I don't know, I kind of want to just maybe take that like the stream stuff where it says latest stub and all that, and kind of really make it much smaller, you know, just not take as much. Like I'm taking advantage of all the screen space I have, and this looks a little cluttery, that's all I'm saying. And instead, kind of open up some of that area, and then what I could do is maybe make the game a little bit bigger. Lose a little bit of the side action for you guys, but yeah, viewer interaction stuff. I know that's definitely the thing too, is getting that, figuring out how to do that. Hey, weeping. Going well. Just landed. We had a decent landing rate, but I feel like I bounced. So, crazy approach. Descended a little late, and then, once again, a beautiful area. Unfortunately, not the best scenery. There it is again. Every day, my Z-axis on my Flight 6, I lose my range on that left turn. That's why I have such a hard time turning left with the tiller, because it doesn't. You can see right now it's going full, but most of the time it'll get jammed up at like 10 degrees or whatever. That's why I can't make the left turns usually. Weeping is actually on a flight to Barcelona right now, coming in from Athens. Cool, that sounds like a good flight. A little bit, just a little bit longer. We did a flight from Montenegro over to Barcelona yesterday. Now Barcelona over here to Albania. So Athens would be probably another extra half hour. I'm using the Thrustmaster, so I don't know why it's been doing that. Luckily I'm able to just unplug all my stuff and then plug it right back in, and I haven't had the game crash or anything. It used to be if I would do that, the game would crash or freeze up, but now I can just unplug it, replug it in, resets, and crush it. So probably what I should do is, before I do a flight, I should just do that right then. It's probably messed up anyway at the beginning. Alright, so we got the parking brake set. I wanted to record that landing so we could watch it again. I'll have to remember to do that on the next flight, which will be a little bit shorter. Turn off our runway, turn off lights, turn on APU. We do have external power, so I don't need. We have external power. Can't see it, but it's there. Yeah, I like it. I was confused because it's like, okay, it's a Budapest Olympic livery. I was like, but then I saw there was like an Air France livery that also was for the Olympics. And it's because Budapest was a candidate city for the Olympic Games, so I'm assuming this livery was used probably before the decision came down that Paris was going to be hosting 2024 games. I'm currently more of an Airbus person. Unfortunately, that plane doesn't have a livery. Don't think. Simply because I've been flying this plane almost all the time in Flight Simulator, but before I got Microsoft Flight Simulator, when I was in X-Plane, I flew the Boeing 737-800 all the time. Zebo's mod over there. So, I like the Boeing, but I also like the Airbus. I like them both. So, I'm looking forward to the PMDG, maybe dropping some money on that. Not looking forward to the price, but try it. And here's the thing, Creeper, I know a lot of people are like, oh yeah, I hope FlyByWire does not die because the PMDG 737 comes out. Because I think there's going to be a ton of people are not going to pay for the PMDG 737. If I do pay for the PMDG 737, I'm going to fly the Airbus too. I'm just going to have one more plane that I can fly the accurate flights with. And if a livery doesn't exist for the 737 and it does for the Airbus, I'll fly it that way, right? Well, I hope it doesn't die. I hope they stick with it and they keep it going, because people like me, I mean, there's no guarantee I'm going to even buy the 737. I might just stick with this. It's good enough for what I'm doing. But I'd like to get back into flying the Boeing as well. I flew that plane hundreds of hours over an X-plane, so it'd be cool to be able to fly it over here. Alright, we got power, so we're going to turn off engine 1 and 2. We're going to go into our menu, weights and balances, and we're going to start deboarding the plane. Same with Pack X. Turn off the seatbelt signs. Pack X, they're going to start deboarding right there. We have external power, so work. Beacon light off. Oxygen supply off. Gears. Fuel pumps. Just kind of go right there. Alright, so yeah, that's going to be about a 3-hour flight. We did it was about 2 hours 40 from Podgorica, Montenegro, which is a little bit closer to Barcelona, a little bit further west than Athens. Alright, let's do our customary review of the flight. We unlocked Albania for the first time. Here's our flight. Flew out of Barcelona. Barcelona, nice grid system. I like it. I'll fly over Sardinia, see the Sardinian countryside. Beautiful views of Italy today, not cloud covered like yesterday. Got to see Mount Vesuvius, right by Naples, and had this kind of messy approach because we did not start descending on time, and also ATC wanted us to come in the opposite runway on our plan. Gave us time to get descended as well, but kind of weird. Landing rate, a little bit higher than Creepy Kirk's prediction of 150. Flight time, just over 2 hours, and landing speed, right landing speed, but I feel like we bounced. So I need to make sure I record the landing so we can review that, as feel like my last 3 landings, I've had decent landing rates, but I feel like I bounced all of them. And let's jump over to the world map for the world tour. We've got all of Africa covered, most of Europe, and today it's reveal Albania. Way down. Zoom it on in. Albania. And we're going to be flying from Albania right here up to this next gray area, which is Bosnia and Herzegovina. It'll be a short flight. It should hopefully be done by midnight, but I'm guessing it'll probably be after midnight. Somewhere around there, because it should be only a half-hour flight, but it takes me about 20 minutes to get the plane set up. So it'll take me a little bit of time to get the flight itself set up. Right. So here, Creepy Kirk is, yeah, you're learning the new Boeing 247D. Yeah, that's the same thing, Creepy. I'm going to be doing that at night also. So many things, too much to do. Maybe I have to get I'll have to get the PDFs and put them on my phone. I can read them at work. At least read the whole thing, and then when I come and get into the simulator, I can kind of work on it. Alright, so if you're watching on YouTube, I'm going to end the stream. I'll drop the link for the next stream right in here for you guys. For the next flight. And if you're watching on Twitch, we'll go to intermission and be back in about 10-15 minutes, hopefully. Not one. Alright, so here's the link for the next stream on YouTube. Well, I mean, like, I could switch liveries and all that stuff. That'd be cool. Yeah, if I wouldn't have to reload everything. I mean, technically, I do kind of I reload the whole sim just to make it, even though that just costs me more time, so. No, yeah. Yeah, it's like, if I was just gonna fly the next flight with this one, don't have to use the ATCs. That's one big thing, like, well, you want to change the call sign, but if you're not using the in-game ATC, who cares? Well, the whole flight plan, I think you can... Well, with the flight plan, what you can do is you just put in... You just go... Here, it's already cleared. Yeah, it's actually complete clear, so you can just do your init request. Look at that. Okay, just put the whole flight in. We could actually do the whole flight again. Except we're on the wrong starting point. That's cool because it cleared out what I had in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Cool. But yeah, you saw it was all cleared out. I could just put in, LATI to whatever. I don't know. Let's see what's going on. There. For now. Put that in. Init request would do it. Cool. We're gonna be flying. I'm not sure what we're flying. Oh, we're flying FlyNAS, which is actually a Saudi Arabian airline, I guess. I did do an Aegean flight back when we were over in here, Greece. So, and that's gonna be something I'm gonna try to do in the future. I'm gonna try to kind of maybe schedule one world tour flight, and then, if you guys have some requests flights that you'd like to see, maybe have the second flight of the night be that, or the first flight of the night, something like that. Try to keep those flights to be like an hour and a half, though. Alright, so I'm gonna see, Pack X is complete, so do this. Let's get this flight over with so I can set the next one up. Here's Pack X. Let's end the flight. Short arrival delay due to traffic, soft landing. Satisfied 84%. And of course, there's always the person that wishes they didn't have that extra shot of rum. Alright, so I'm going to end the stream for YouTube, and for Twitch, we're going to go to an intermission and be back in about 10-15 minutes for the next flight. Hope to see you then.